Meantime, as Hillary Clinton is set to unveil a long-anticipated report on the state of women and girls across the world today, her family's foundation is coming under fire. The Clinton Foundation accused of accepting tens of millions of dollars in donations from countries that the State Department faults for their records on violence against women, sex discrimination, and other human rights violations. Those countries include Saudi Arabia, which, get this, donated between $10 and $25 million to the Clinton Foundation last year, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Algeria, and Brunei. I mean, these countries treat women horribly. And here's what Bill Clinton had to say about accepting that money.
The UAE gave us money. Do we agree with everything they do? No, but they're helping us fight ISIS. Do I agree with all the foreign policy of Saudi Arabia? No. You've got to decide when you do this work,
sure,
whether it'll do more good than harm if someone helps you from another country.
All right, so he's basically saying, Harris, that we need to take money from the bad in order to effectuate good. I'm not buying that.
Well, and this isn't just the government taking money to effectuate good. This was a foundation that they set up, that they're running with their name on it. And it's been my recollection, and I want to do more reading on this, but as I remember, wasn't there some question about whether or not he even wanted to say which countries they had taken money from?
Yeah.
So if it was a problem to go on record with which ones gave, why is it okay now to talk all about it in the name of a common good?
Well, would they have accepted money from an organized criminal syndicate of pimps? I mean, if he says accepting the money, it's a key thing. And if they're concerned about the exploitation of women, a country that allows women and girls to be married at age 9, countries that do not allow women to vote. I mean, there's something very peculiar here. There's such a thing as a terrible example, and I think the foundation, the Clinton Foundation, is just flooded with money. I don't think they needed to beg for money.
Mm-hmm. It also sounds, too, Jedediah, like he's saying that the ends justify the means. And my question is, are these donations buying Hillary Clinton's silence when she was Secretary of State? I mean, I did some research. She put out some mealy-mouthed statements on Saudi Arabia and women driving.
You know, on one hand, she's saying that she's out there fighting for women and fighting for their rights. On the other hand, she's taking money from countries that oppress them. To me, it just means that she's interested in money. And what she's saying to me is insincere. And that's
it strikes me as she's not interested in women's rights. She's interested in one woman's rights. Exactly. And it's her rights. I mean, whenever she talks about women's rights, she's talking about herself and her right to do, frankly, whatever the hell she damn pleases. Well, and that's the issue. The 18 million cracks aren't the 18 million women that voted for her. It's her head that smashed that ceiling because it's only ever been about Hillary.
Well, she made a very powerful speech to the Emily's List wealthy leftist group a few days ago, and she basically said, if I can do it, follow me, watch my example. Well, if the example is taking money from countries that basically enslave girls, that's not such a great example. I mean, she's basically not saying, look, I'm John Adams, look, I'm Abraham Lincoln. She's saying, I'm an example for women. Is this a good example?
Mm-hmm. And we've seen this latest Fox News polling and even wider polling showing that there is a trust deficit among Americans where Hillary Clinton is concerned. So it speaks to the issue that Melissa was bringing up.